I'm from the land down under, where the sun is hot and bright, beaches cool and waves of thunder, morning turns to golden night. So much there is to see, my friend, from the city to the shore. Grab a stool, we'll find an end to keep us wanting more. Down under's calling, can't you hear? Echoes in the breeze, feel the magic everywhere, in the rustling of the trees. Mountains rise and rivers flow, adventures wait around, meet the world on a winding road in every little town. Oh, the land, it seems to me, with a tune as wild as sea, hands up high and voices free. Down under's where I'll be, down under's calling, can't you hear?
G'day. Welcome aboard, folks. Nice to have you here. It's going to be an awesome day today. Why? Because I've got some guests on board. I'm not going to tell you who they are yet. Hang on a second. Mate, is the coffee okay down there? Oh, God. Whoa. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. Wait a minute. What have we got going on there? Oh, my God. Oh, geez. Seriously. I had to see that. Took the microphone in with him. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, without further ado, I better bring him up or else I've got some more troubles going on. But wait a minute. Let me just see if I can. Let's have a look. Who is it? It's.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Well. Welcome aboard, Jimmy.
G'day, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Well, I as good as I can be. Good morning.
It's great to have you on board because what is it? It's hump day, and it is cup of joe time. Well, you're having your cup of joe. I'm having mine.
Glass of port.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm good.
Thanks
Cheers,
for inviting
mate.
me on. Been a long time since I've done something like this.
How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. I feel better every day. It's not without its challenges, but yeah.
As we usually do have challenges coming up. So the good news is you're heading in the right direction. So
Absolutely.
there we go. Let me just get into the chat first up. Joe, g'day mate. How you going? Hi, Shaun. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, chat. Foist second night in a row. Correct. How you doing?
G'day, Joe.
Who's this dude?
I don't know. Some guy.
Yeah, some dude. G'day, Shaz. How you going? Welcome aboard.
Hi,
Nice to have
Sharon.
you here. And guess who's here? Guess who's here? G'day, Jimmy. Everybody's excited to
Hi,
see you.
Sharon. Good morning.
We've got Nick going and saying, it's Mr. Jimmy. Whenever you say Mr. Jimmy, I always think of you. Can't always get what you want. Legend has it. The original Mr. Jimmy came from Excelsior, Minnesota. Well, let me just put up this Mr. Jimmy and see what you think. Hang on, let me just do this one. Who's that? Do you know who that was?
Jimmy somebody.
Yeah, you're right, Jimmy Carr.
Some comedian.
Yeah, Jimmy Carr. He is that comedian.
I'm really not familiar with his work, so.
Aren't you? Well, you better
No.
get familiar with it, mate. You better get familiar with it. You never know. Jen
Is
might
he an Aussie?
Actually, no, he's a Pom.
Oh, okay.
He's from the United Queen. You know where fucking Charlie comes from?
Fucking Charlie.
You said it, not me. I said fucking.
Fucking Charlie.
Yes, very fucking Charlie.
It's like my T-shirt.
Yep. Now wait a minute. Let me just see what's going on here. I've got a. We've done that one. We've done that one. We've done that one. Now wait a minute.
Hey,
Oh, go.
may I?
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody's there. Who's
Good
there?
Lord. I don't know.
Well, let's just try this a minute. Oh, okay, I'm coming. I'm coming. Give me a break. Jeez, bloody hell.
Wow.
Da 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 da.
Hi, Jen. Good morning.
Good morning, Jimmy. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good day,
Not bad.
Shaun.
How you going, Jen?
I am amazing. It is
Well,
early
let me
and I am
say.
amazing.
Let me say, for 6 a.m., you've scrubbed up pretty good.
It's 5 a.m. for me, Shaun. I'm in
Oh, yeah, that's
Central.
right. That's right. You're in the best time central, right?
I am in the best time zone.
Oh boy, I get it wrong every time. Now, Nick says you're breathing, Jimmy. That's a good start.
Oh yeah, yeah. Breathing.
Uh,
I've been breathing all along, which is,
thank,
oxygen is important for.
thank goodness for that. We've got Cheryl there. G'day, Cheryl. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here.
Hi, Cheryl.
And Shaz is saying
Cheryl's up
g'day
early
to
too.
Joe. Oh, somebody's here.
Aha.
Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Yeah, wait a minute. I'm trying to find it quick.
That's not Denise.
I beat
Hello.
you to
Denise.
it.
There you go. Joe's saying g'day to Shaz. Denise is saying that was Jimmy Carr, and yes, you're quite right. It was. G'day, Ryan. Welcome aboard, buddy. Nice to have you on board.
Hey,
I'm on
Ryan.
18 in the standby. Denise is saying that he's a British comedian. You've got to watch him. He's
It's a
actually,
dry humor.
well, all you need is a bit of some of this stuff and make it wet.
The Brits are pretty dry in my experience. But
Well, then
hey,
you
can
won't.
may I, sir? May I?
Please.
Good morning, everybody. Best sip of the day. It's Cup of Joe.
Yes, it is, and I'm outnumbered.
Best sip of the day. Been a long
Joe's,
time since I've done that.
yeah. Joe's saying g'day to Ryan, and Denise says he's vulgar, but he's funny as hell. Denise, you actually used a British word, vulgar.
Vulgar.
Jeez. Nick is saying another famous Jimmy is Jimmy Durante. Man, he's way gone. I always think of the song Frosty the Snowman when I think of him. Yeah, but mate, he's way gone. He went with the snow. Yeah. Denise is agreeing. Far King Charlie. Yep, that's right. Hey, listen, if you're Canadian, you've got Far King Charlie on hand. Only because they are monarch. Yeah, that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like us Aussies. Anyway, let me keep moving. Joe is saying we've got the state of origin at the moment. Yeah, but that's not real rugby. That's pretend rugby. But okay, we'll go with that. No, I don't have Trouser Cat. Sorry to say that, Denise.
Trouser Cat was at the door when you were ringing the bell.
Well, okay, well there we go. She's giving you the hearts.
Trouser
got all
Cat's
those
on
lovely
vacation right now. Trouser Cat will be back.
Yeah. And then you've got Sharon saying g'day to you, Jen.
Good
And
day,
saying
Sharon.
it's 6:06 South Georgia time. G'day, Amy.
Yep.
Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here.
That's 0606.
Yeah, 0606, correct. Nick saying that he dropped off his T-shirt and presidential inauguration ticket yesterday to get framed. The T-shirt he wore on the national news is going to get matted, so it's preserved forever. Good on you.
Did you
mate.
wash it? I
Very
hope you washed it.
Well, we need to preserve it, right? Because you never know what got in that T-shirt. Cheryl is saying good morning to Denise. Oh, look, it's here. Scotty J Travels. Welcome aboard, buddy. Welcome aboard. My God, good morning, you beautiful people. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Morning, Scotty.
Nice to see you on
morning,
board.
Scotty.
Denise is saying g'day to Scotty. Scotty's saying he finally made it. You sure did, buddy. You sure did. We've got Scotty saying happy hump day. Yes, it is. It's a great hump day. Only good things are going to happen today or else. Joe is saying, I'll tell you who's hilarious. The Blue Collar Comedy Club, Jeff Foxworthy, Bill Engvall, Larry the Cable Guy, and Ron Tater Salad White.
Wow, that's a blast from the past.
That is a blast from the past. I love Ron White. He's
He's
cracks
a
me up.
riot.
Joe,
They call me Tater Salad.
Joe, I am fully aware that Canada is part of the Commonwealth. Seriously. And it's not Commonwealth, it's Commonwealth. You got to pronounce it properly. So tell me, guys, did you have some pleasant dreams?
I have some crazy dreams. All the medication I take gives me some very, very strange dreams.
Yeah, but those
some of which I cannot divulge.
Yeah. I won't tell Colleen either. Scotty saying, Denise Trouser Cat, what? G'day, Jonesy. Welcome aboard, Jonesy. Jonesy is saying, is this the Two Stooges and the Princess show? If that was the case, the princess would be sitting in the middle between the Stooges.
Right? Good morning, Jonesy.
Great Aussie couple here, Deb and Matt. G'day, Deb and Matt. Welcome aboard. Been listening to their show earlier on. Their show came on just before ours.
Deb and Matt?
Their discussion today was, is travel insurance important?
Yes. I would have to say yes.
Have you used it? Have you used it?
Yes, I have. I have an annual policy with Allianz, and I had to use it as part of a cruise last year. So, yep.
What about you, Jimmy?
Oh, it's important. I haven't had to use it, thank goodness. But I don't. Look, I'm not an avid cruiser. I've only done 4 cruises, I think, in my time.
Whoa. You're not an avid cruiser. You've only done 4. I mean, seriously, most of the people coming in haven't done zip.
Well, Jen's done like 20-something cruises, right, Jen?
No, I've done like 8.
Okay.
Seriously, 8? That many?
Yeah.
Whew. Oh, what I do
don't
to
think that's a lot at all, because when I talk to my friend, the cruising lizard, and she's going on cruise number 59, she's on cruise 59 right now. I feel like I have hardly cruised at all.
Yeah, well, we wish we could cruise out of our Melbourne port, but it's kind of like shut down. Matt has gone with the ultimate. If you're on the Down Under Cruises channel, #duck will get you the following. There you go. It'll bring up your link. So do that. Bring it up. #duck. Go ahead. Be my guest. Cheryl is saying, Scotty J, whooping it up. Good on you. Go Jonesy. Now, folks, for all who are interested, Jonesy has now reduced his channel count from 3,527 million to 4.
Big cut. Big cut.
That's a huge cut.
Yep. Joe, go back and watch the replay. To which Joe is now going with his #duck, and there you go. There's his link. Keep on doing it, folks. Keep on doing it. Oh, and by the way, good on you, Joe. Thank you for reminding me, mate. Matt, happy birthday for tomorrow, mate.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Another
June birthday.
Those of you that know Matt and Deb, Matt is very bashful and really doesn't want anybody knowing that it's his birthday tomorrow, but we fixed that up.
Okay.
Yep. Nick is saying he'll never forget being in Australia last year for the State of Origin. It was so fun to hear the banter back and forth. between the Queenslanders and the people from New South Wales. Let me say,
Wait, the state of Oregon is in the United States.
no, origin.
Oh, the state of origin. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive
Yeah,
me.
not Oregon. I mean, seriously, that's a dad joke. You should be on Matt's chat, especially with his dad jokes. Jonesy's saying good day to Joe, and Denise is saying, "You done it. You done caught the tater."
That's right.
That's from Ron White. Now, my favorite part of that bit is when he was talking about his son, Tater Tot.
Tater tot.
Yep. Matt is saying, "All good, Joe. It's there to catch up on later." Yep, go for it. That's what I told him. Good on you, Jonesy. The hashtag duck. Go ahead, do it. Show the world where you're from. Nick is saying, "I always get travel insurance. I never leave the United States of America without a travel insurance policy, especially like last year when he went to the middle of the Australian outback." And your problem with the Australian outback was you came
When
back.
you went to the Outback, what'd you get? Did you get like a T-bone or a prime rib? What'd you get?
He got a kangaroo. He got a roost steak. Nightbot is saying, "Welcome to Jonesy from Outback Tasmania." Go ahead, folks. Go on to his link. Give him the heads up. Now, Joe is saying it definitely is. A friend of his and his wife were on holiday in the States, and he ended up having a stroke. Without it, they would have been truly out of pocket for the Medivac and treatment. Yeah, that's not cool. Jones is saying Outback Tasmania is saying, "Gee, as an Australian, you can't go to the US without getting travel insurance. Without that, you could go bankrupt." Mate, the way I look at it is you could go bankrupt anywhere around the world, right? Yeah,
I would
obviously.
agree.
Yeah. Purely because get pulled off a ship in the middle of the Pacific Islands somewhere and, you're up for medical bills and also to fly you back, and that's not cheap. Shaz is saying, "Joe, is your friend all right?" Thanks for the birthday wishes, Matt. Mate, it's a pleasure, but happy 21st birthday. I know you're only 21, which means that Deb has got to be 12. Mate is back in Australia now, and time to get rehab underway. Well, thank goodness he's pretty well okay. Somebody I know, do you know who this guy is, Jimmy?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, well, he's done this.
He has. And if you feel so inclined, connect with him. He's awesome. He's got a
Yeah, I
great
think-
channel. And he's only got 8,600 to go to 10,000. So,
Yeah,
But
Is that
who's
all?
counting?
yeah, exactly. I mean,
Right.
we're only sitting on 676 and 424 on the
Jen,
HSBC.
speaking of that, how have you done?
I think I'm at
You're-
204 now.
Right on.
So
Excellent.
I got to 200 for my birthday, so that was my goal. So
What, your 12th birthday?
12th birthday.
Well, I said
She
you were
doesn't-
21 and you got upset with me.
No, I embrace the years. I embrace the levels. So
Jen,
I'm
what are you like?
proud of
40?
that. So
You like 40 now?
yeah, try 59. Try level 59, kids.
At least you
Yeah.
haven't made it to the 60.
Next year, baby.
Yeah, Shaun and I have made it to 6 decades.
See what happens when you turn 60? You lose your hair.
Yeah, Jen, get ready. It's coming.
Nick is saying Outback Steakhouse is nothing compared to Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, I wasn't too enamored with both, to be quite honest. Jen Cohen did this. Jen
She
did
did?
this.
Who?
She
What?
did. And this is what it brought up. Oh my goodness. You better link in there as well. Joe is saying now he's thinking of taking out travel insurance when he travels domestically. Although he does have ambulance cover, he'll take it out. Mate, to be honest with you, travel insurance is always important, and I'll tell you why. Whilst we have the benefit here of being able to go to pretty much any hospital, when you've got travel insurance, if you need to be repatriated back to your home base, it's always easier to do it on travel insurance, to be honest. Outback Jonesy is saying
205.
hashtag 205, Jen. So
Thank
good on
you
you.
so much, Jonesy.
Joe is saying New South Wales up 6-0. Ah, so New South Wales snuck in a try, did they? Denise is saying finally hit 201, Jen.
Right on.
Awesome, Denise.
Well, actually, it's 205 because if I'm going Jonesy's way, then Denise, you're a little bit behind. Sorry. This fall he hits 34 years old, says Nick. Don't hit it, mate. Just get there. Nick, you don't even look that old. You look around. Joe, stop sucking up. He's not going to give you his points. Jen, you got 205 subs. Well done.
Thank you.
Joe, thanks, mate. He's put up the Helping Hands for Cruising.org website talking about HH4C. Jen,
Yes.
what have we got happening with HH4C? What do you know?
We got some cool, exciting fundraisers coming up. In July, we are actually doing a fundraiser for food that's available in the U.S. and Canada. Sorry about that, Shaun. And then in August, we have our silent auction, and we are diligently collecting gifts. We are collecting them from far and wide, and we are going to have some really exciting things for the auction.
What are we going to have, Jen?
That's a secret, Shaun.
You do that to me every time.
Stop asking.
Seriously. Joe has given up the Down Under Cruises website. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. Nick is saying, luckily, since he had a travel insurance policy, his hotel in Washington, D.C. was paid for 4 days, and he was eating all the fancy political restaurants. You were eating the restaurants?
Restaurant, my favorite.
Nick is saying he was truly roughing it, eating filet mignon and having key lime cheesecake, living a hard life, getting all his food paid for. So you were eating on the taxpayer's dime. Denise is saying she's the wide in far and wide. Really?
Wait a minute, Nick, go back. Nick works for the taxpayer. Let's make sure we get that straight. So everything he does is on the taxpayer's dime.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Hey, Nick, next time you promote yourself like that, yeah. So, Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
What have you been up to? I know you got out of hospital. You've been checking out all those nurses in the hospital.
Oh my God! So Monday I went back. I had to go back to Boston for a checkup. It's a 7-day endeavor now. I'll be in Boston every 7 days, but for good reason, lab checks and that. But I went back up to 7C, which was the ward that I was in, and I went and I surprised the nurses and went and visited them. They, and this is no BS, when I was leaving, it takes some time to get discharged. You're waiting for everybody to pull lines out of you and come in and sign this paper and go over medication and that. And the nurses kept coming in and they're like, we're going to miss you. You're our favorite patient and all this. I was like, really? I was going to cry. And they're like, truly, you're like the best patient we've ever had. And I'm like, oh my God. So I had my guitar and I played them some songs. So I may edit one of the videos and show it when
that's why you're their favorite patient. You sang them lullabies.
Well, it wasn't quite lullabies, but it was country roads,
Well, close.
you know. But yeah, so I went back on Monday before I had my appointment and went and visited them. So, and for the rest of the time here this week, I haven't really been doing a whole lot but resting. I have good and bad days. So yesterday was the bad out of the good and bad days. We'll see how today unfolds. So far, so
Well,
good. But
I've decided that your day today is going to be good. Nick is saying, no, laugh out loud. You wouldn't think Washington, D.C. would be the warmest city in America, but when I was there, temperatures were hovering around 0. He slept outside so he could be the first one in the arena. Mate, if it's 0, why the frickin' hell are you sleeping outside?
He wanted to be first. He said
is
it.
that 0 Celsius? Because if that's 0 Fahrenheit, you better have
Mate,
your
that's
long
fucking
johns
cold.
on.
Well, I can tell you, you've seen how short Nick is, right?
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
He's really
He's
short.
hi Nick.
Yeah, you need
Yeah, he's
almost need a
short.
passport to talk to him, but he's that short. And what was happening was he was way up there, and Nick was saying that he was cold. I mean, can you imagine pushing all that blood all the way through his body to warm him up? I mean, seriously.
That's a big heart.
Oh, huge, 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 huge. Nick is saying on inauguration day, definitely once in a lifetime experience he'll never forget. What, sleeping outside or seeing the inauguration?
Probably a bit of both.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe is saying that kind of reminds him of the awesome weekend at the 2014 Sydney 500. Had everything laid out on him. Morning tea, lunch, snacks, soft drinks, beer, tea, and coffee all included. And the
Nice.
race to boot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
Joe is saying it's 6-all. I can imagine these Queenslanders are getting their excitement up.
Is that football?
It's rugby league, yes.
Oh, rugby. Okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
As opposed to rugby union, and also as opposed to Australian rules football, which has nothing to do with, all three of them have nothing to do with actually keeping a foot on the ball.
Right.
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 It's like your American football, right? I've got the football. Yeah, it's not a football, right? It's a
Kick
handball
it.
at this point.
Occasionally, they kick it.
Well,
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
It's a little bit of everything ball.
Oh,
Watching,
Denise, I know why you hit the deer, because you were talking to Jimmy.
she was talking with me. That's true. She's chatting with me. She was on her
Oh,
way to pick up her grandson, and she shows me a picture of how dark the road was, and nobody else was on it. And all of a sudden, she's like, "I just hit a deer." I'm like, "Oh my
oh
god!"
no. Well, after seeing those pictures of your car, Denise, I'm just glad you're okay.
The deer fared better than the car did because the
The
deer
deer
ran
usually
off.
does.
Yeah.
We have that a lot around here. So
We don't have so many issues with deers. We have them with kangaroos, though.
Yeah.
And you never
Are
know
you
which
allowed?
way.
So here in the U.S., at least in New England, if you hit a deer and you kill it, you can take the deer. Can you take the kangaroo?
Seriously, you wouldn't want to.
Well, you guys eat that meat there, so
Yeah, we do. We do. But, well, I guess if nobody knows, I didn't say
oh,
that.
so
Joe
oh,
will
I see.
correct me. Joe will correct me.
You're not
Um,
allowed to take it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, pretty much. Nick is saying the fun part, you guys, was also he was on the national news multiple times. It's fun to go back and watch the videos from that day and like, hey, I know the guy. Yep, I
You're famous.
understand
That was
that.
your 15 minutes.
Yep, that's it. That
that's
was your
very
fame.
cool.
Jonesy is saying soccer is the real football. And yes, mate, you are right. Denise says cargo's in the shop today.
I'm
Good.
just happy that you're okay, Denise. That's all that matters.
That's the most
Yeah.
important, really, right? We're the only Joe says we're the only country that eats the meat from both animals on the coat of arms, and he's right.
What's the
'Cause
other one? A kookaburra or something?
No, an emu.
Oh, an emu.
Okay.
Yep. Jonesy is saying patamillions are the stupid animals on the road here also. Wombats. Yep. Pad. I don't know.
Isn't that like a rat?
It's an oversized rat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's not actually a rat. It's a wombat.
Like it.
Come on, get it right.
It's a marsupial.
Yes. Denise is saying she's so glad she kept full coverage insurance after she paid. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Joe is saying both kangaroo and emu. So there you go. And Denise is saying she paid off in March. And Nick is saying he went to his first football match in England in April. He saw Tottenham versus Nottingham Forest. The London Overground lost power immediately after the match, so he had to walk all the way back. Good on you, mate.
Oh my goodness.
Compensation, collision, and rental car coverage. Goodness me.
Ooh. Are you getting what are you going to get for your rental car? Something cool?
Joe says if you know of quokkas, they're very similar to them.
Wombats are similar to quokkas?
Correct.
The hell is a quokka?
But I thought quokkas were kind of cute and wombats not so much.
Well, a wombat is an overgrown quokka.
Okay, so you got like the good looking side of the family and then everybody else.
Yeah, that's right.
Got it.
Joe is saying Queensland is up 10-6. Good on you. So they've just scored.
Oh my goodness.
Running. The state of origin is as big as your biggest basketball game, as big as your World Series.
Yep.
Nick is saying the English are so crazy about their football. The home fans in the away fans have to be separated in the stadium, otherwise they would kill each other.
That's like a Red Sox and Yankees game in baseball.
Correct. Denise said probably a Fiesta. Jonesy, fun fact, wombats are the only animals in the world that poo square blocks. Jonesy, how many times do you want to tell the world that one? It's true, but how many times do you want to tell the world? G'day, Marjorie. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here.
Hey, Marjorie
is saying whatever is $40 per day.
Oh, for the rental?
All right. You could get a decent car for that amount.
Yeah.
And Scotty's going
Fiesta.
Fiesta. Yeah. Scotty's beep beep.
Joe's drag a Yugo off the back lot and give it to you. So
correct. So, Jen, you've been on 8,000 cruises. What were they?
I said 8, not 8,000.
Sorry.
All Caribbean except for the one to Alaska. And
what was that?
Folks talking about getting travel insurance for traveling internationally or domestically. That's why I went with a once a year, just an annual policy that covers all my travel. It covers my business travel, my personal travel, cruises, everything else. So I had to actually use the insurance on the Alaska cruise. I got sick on the Alaska cruise and had to miss a couple of excursions and was able to get reimbursed through my insurance.
Nice.
Wow.
So luckily I wasn't so ill that I had to delay going home or anything like that. So I didn't have to make any huge claims, but still that was domestic travel. And you never know. Like the story that Joe brought up, somebody could have a stroke. You don't know.
Yeah.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
I've heard of people being on vacation and just taking a misstep and breaking an ankle or breaking a leg or something like that. And all of that costs a ton of money. when you're traveling. So, yeah, big fan of the insurance.
Now,
Yeah, it definitely adds up,
Alaska
right, Jen?
cruise was amazing. That was, I would go back in a minute. I felt the same way about Alaska as I felt when I got to go to Hawaii. The landscape and the animals and just the air, everything is so pure and just so amazing. We went at the end of the season for Alaska, so we actually got to see orcas and humpback whales.
Jen, what
So
month is the end? Is that like the fall for us?
September, yes.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
Yes. So
then what you do
went
is you get
first
on.
week of September, so
So then
So
what you
cold,
do
but
is
not too cold.
you get on board the last ship, which would generally be the Carnival Luminosa. You jump on that ship, and then what it does is it goes from Alaska to Seattle, and then heads down to through the South Pacific,
yeah.
all on its way down to Australia, and then you can get off and go home.
You know what? Maybe when I retire, I will do a really huge cruise like that because I would love to do a Trans-Pacific. I'd love to do a cruise to Hawaii. I'd love to, there's a lot of cruises that I'd like to go on that I'll probably not do that for another few years until,
Yep.
I'm not working.
Here's a suggestion, Jen. Rather than, hang on, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. See, I'm telling the truth. Rather
Bless
than
you.
thank you. Rather than do the Seattle to Australia, do it the other way around. Fly into Oz
Mhm.
and then take the ship home. So that's about March.
So that's a plan that Colleen and I, a bucket list that we want to do is fly to Australia,
Nice.
spend a few weeks there,
Yeah.
hop on a cruise and cruise back home. That's what I'd like to do. I saw that Bill from Armstrong Adventures, he did something similar to
Yeah, he's
that.
done a couple of
Yeah.
them. He
Yeah, yeah.
and the good news is when you come down under, so you go and check out places like Australia Zoo and because most of those cruises will sail out of Brisbane. And they're talking about updating the Brisbane port to allow for two berths. Currently, there's one. It's a new terminal, and that terminal is absolutely exquisite. The only problem is it's a little bit far out from the city. You almost need a passport to get from the city to the cruise terminal. However, you're going on a cruise ship, so therefore, why not have the passport anyway?
Yep.
Um, and
I'm not interested in the zoo. I'm interested in going to Melbourne and taking an EMS class from this guy now. I want to sit in a classroom.
why on earth would you come on down to Melbourne?
Uh,
You'd
I'm
only get
sure I'm sure it's very nice, and there's lots of cool things to see in Melbourne.
you'd only get to meet Peter and Amy from Cruise Crazed Fam, and then the Down Under Cruises, I believe, and maybe a couple of other
Well,
local.
speaking of the Down Under cruises, there's only one of them I'd like to meet, and that's your beautiful wife.
Yeah, of
If
course.
you're there, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can, well, we can, accept that. Deb and so Matt is saying some people say Mastercard never leave home without it. He says travel insurance never leave home without it. Absolutely.
agreed.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, Matt, happy birthday, mate, for tomorrow. And Alaska is a bucket list trip for them. So one of the things that the Luminosa is doing is when it always does this, it sails out of Brisbane, heads up to Seattle, does a pickup, and then goes from Seattle to Alaska. That's its normal run. And then I think it does the Alaska route all the time. Joe, oh my God, Jen, that would have been fantastic seeing the orcas. He'd be so freaking excited.
It was the orcas and also the humpbacks. There was one moment where we did an excursion that was a whale watching excursion, and we got to see orcas, and there was like a family of orcas, so there were little ones and stuff. I mean, little in relative terms, it's still an orca.
Yep.
But we got to see all these whales, and it was really cool, and loved it, and it was fabulous. And then the next day when we were on board the ship, we were up on like the observation area that they had. We were aboard the Holland America Eurodam, and they've got a huge area called the Crow's Nest with just windows like in a 180.
Mm.
And as we were sitting there and looking out over the bow of the ship, a humpback whale was off the starboard side and started breaching and jumping out of the water. And there was something so incredible about seeing this whale doing all of this for the sheer joy of being out in the ocean. I mean, it wasn't like jump for a fish as I'm at SeaWorld or something like that. It was so pure. It was so beautiful. It was amazing. And honestly, the other thing that really got me is how many bald eagles there were.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, it was like going to the city and seeing pigeons, and they're just everywhere. There were just bald eagles. We would be sailing along, and you'd look out your window or you'd look off the balcony, and there was a tree with like 6 bald eagles sitting in it and stuff.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
and the funny part was that they had a wildlife specialist on board who was giving all of these talks, and very informative, very interesting, and kept correcting us because we'd be like, "Hey, there's a hawk," and he would say, "That's not a hawk. That's a juvenile bald eagle."
Oh, wow.
Because they don't get their white
Yeah,
feathers
they're not white when they're young.
and their gold beak until they get older. So we kept thinking they were hawks, and he kept correcting us. So my father, who loves a good dad joke, latched on to the term juvenile eagle and started calling them juvenile delinquent eagles, and was frustrating the poor wildlife guide so much because the guy would go, "Well, there's a juvenile eagle," and my father would go, "More like a juvenile delinquent eagle, out with
Yeah.
other eagles, a tough around town, causing trouble, pushing other eagles around."
Now, Nick was saying that when he was in, I'll just go up there quickly. He saw humpback whales on a cruise out of Sydney last year.
Oh,
They're so majestic, and can't believe how huge a whale is. But once you see it in person, you understand. Jonesy's gone and said they're lucky enough to get to see humpbacks out of their front window.
oh,
Where I live in New Hampshire, we can take whale watching trips, and we see humpbacks all the time. And Jen, where I live, a mile from here, there's a family of bald eagles. I can go and probably see them right now if we went.
oh,
So come
wow.
visit me. I'll take you to see the eagles. Yeah.
Oh,
We-
amazing.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so
G'day.
cool.
G'day, Donna. How are you going? Say g'day to that Mr. Ross. I need to speak with him. Say g'day. Joe, we get to see some amazing birds of prey over at his work. Can you not talk about your payroll mistress, please? She's not a bird of prey. Oops.
Hey, Shaun,
Yep.
can I bring up a little business?
Sure.
Cruise of the Century? There's
Oh,
a
yeah,
cruise coming up.
Yeah, there
November
is.
29th through December 6th on the Norwegian Encore.
You want to talk about this one?
It's going to be the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise, the cruise of the century. Going to be a group cruise to support Helping Hands and you need to get on it. So, Shaun, roll the beautiful bean footage.
That's one cruise
Perfect.
we just cannot wait for. It's going to be amazing.
One
When I
hundred
tell you it's the cruise of
4
the
days
century,
ago. Oh, sorry.
it's all right. It's going to be amazing. You're gonna spots are limited, so you need to book now. Get your stateroom and get on this. There's going to be some tribute bands, Who's Who, and a Foreigner and Journey tribute band, and you're going to. Let's see. Shaun can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to try to remember this. But when you book your passage, you're going to get all kinds of swag. You're going to have a couple restaurants paid for. Um, uh, you'll get to meet YouTube personalities such as the Down Under Cruisers, Jen Cohen, Kenny will be there, the Ford Man, Marjorie Ambrose will be there, Ross and Donna will be there. There'll be many, 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 many more. I think Bruce and Cindy will be there. There's going to be all kinds of YouTube personalities. Lots of fun. There's going to be raffles, and I'm sure they're going to be doing spinning the one-armed bandits and all of that stuff. So you cannot miss this cruise. This is going to be, like I said, the cruise of the century. So get a hold of Bruce and Cindy, or get a hold of Jen or anybody at the Down Under Cruises, and get your spot reserved today.
So, Jimmy, do you want me to correct you?
Sure, correct me.
Well, there's nothing to correct. So what do you
There
want
we
me
go.
I mean,
It's
seriously.
been a while since I've done my shtick on the cruise, but
You still got it.
yeah, right on. So
Um, Deb and
go
Matt,
ahead.
Matt was saying that July, August cruising from Brisbane is great for whale watching. They love 3-night weekend cruises at this time of year for that reason. Matt, we would love a 3-night weekend cruise. If only we had a ship come into Melbourne. Nick is saying Alaska and Hawaii are in his bucket list. He's been to every single U.S. state besides those two, but he'd rather go back to Europe before he goes to those. Mate, why don't you just do the trifecta and get them out of the way? Then you can go to Europe. And in actual fact, I believe you could get you could transfer working in those. No, I won't say that. Nick is saying, since of course Alaska and Hawaii are within the same country as him, he's in no rush to go there, mate. Rush.
The only I'll say one thing about that, especially about Alaska. The landscape is changing rapidly, and I would go while the ports are still open, because some of the ports are wanting to close and no longer have cruise ships come in. And
Yep.
also, before some of these things that you would want to see are no longer there.
Yep.
We went to the Mendenhall Glacier, and they have pictures and video that show how far back the glacier has receded over the past 10, 20, 30 years. And it is unnerving. It's really unnerving. So I would encourage you to go, especially to Alaska, and see it while you can still get into all the ports that you want to, and while you can still see everything that you want to. So that's my pitch for Alaska. So
Jimmy, I've got to ask you a question.
Sure.
How are you traveling?
How am I traveling?
Yeah.
Right now,
Yep.
I can't travel anywhere.
That's not the intention of my question. It's an Australian form of slang saying, "How you doing?"
Oh,
Oh, okay. Forgive me. I'm not up on all the slang.
You've got to get
How am I
used to it.
doing? I'm getting tired. I'm starting to wane.
So you
But
let me
what
know
is
when
it?
you want to pull the pin. We've got 10 minutes to go. If you can manage 10
Yeah,
minutes, great.
I
If
can,
not,
I can I can handle that.
we understand.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, Joe is saying today was an autism pride day. He wears his autism with pride. Autism will not define him. It will never get at me. So, that is a brilliant thought process because at the end of the day, there are a bucket load of people that suffer the same issue. And it's the 6 inches between your ears. As you normally say, Jimmy, what are the three letters?
PMA,
There you
positive
go.
mental attitude every day.
Correct.
You guys, if you watch my channel on a regular basis, you know that that's what I preach. And I spent 22 days this last time in the hospital, and every day I used my PMA. And
Mhm.
honestly, I, I was having a private meeting with Jen and Shaun last night, and I told them it saved my life in more ways than one. It's not the first time. And I truly believe that I'm cured of this nasty disease in part, not to mention the doctors and the nurses, but using a positive mental attitude every day and keeping that negative energy out. So, and I talk to Joe. Joe and I speak a couple times a week, and he doesn't let autism define who he is. He doesn't let it get in the way of his everyday life, and he's doing fantastic. So, I would say if there's anybody out there that knows anybody with autism or has autism, get a hold of Joe or just watch him or talk to him because he's living proof that it works for sure. So,
Donna, you have a fantastic day. I hope it's
I
stress
gonna.
free today. And yeah, thinking of you guys. Okay, so we've got that cruise coming up. We've got that auction thing coming up that you don't want to tell everybody about.
Gotta
Jen, what
build
else?
the excitement. Gotta build the mystery.
What else have we got going on that's going to build mystery and excitement that you don't want me to tell everybody, but you're going to tell them for me?
Okay. Well, in January, we've got our annual Dreams in Motion marathon going from January 16th through 18th of 2026. And we are reaching out to content creators who have joined us before and some who are new to assisting with Helping Hands for Cruising. Bless you.
Thank you.
And that should be an exciting 3 days, as it usually is. And we are looking to raise more funds than any previous marathon has.
So, Jen, people are sick and tired of hearing it from me. Um, Maybe you can enlighten the general populace. What's the benefit of HH4C?
The benefit of HH4C is this is something that gives people an opportunity that they would not have otherwise. People who are dealing with hardships, whether it's medical, whether it's financial, if they are a caregiver, whatever their situation, it allows them to step away from the everyday stuff that they have to deal with and experience something brand new for the first time. And it's an amazing charity to be a part of. And I also love it because the gratification is so immediate. You see people on the cruises, you get to see them experiencing this. And we're going to be coming out with more and more content that follows the path of our recipients and tells their story all the way through the journey. And it really is inspiring.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It changes lives. That's the key thing. Not only the recipients, but the people that are are around them.
For sure. I already feel
It's
changed, and I haven't even gotten to go on a cruise yet. So, I
right.
mean, with HH for C.
It's
And
it's such
now
a great organization. I mean, I have the opportunity of I could drive and look at the ocean every day, but there's people all over the world that they may not have that opportunity just to see the ocean. I mean, and we always talk about Kenny. He's our poster guy, you know. But
Mhm.
he had never seen the ocean before, and there's many other people
Right.
like him, or even their caregivers. It's not just about the actual individual that may be disabled, or their caregivers are with them all the time,
Yeah.
and they may not have an opportunity to do that either. So that's the great thing about Helping Hands, is that it provides that opportunity for people that that don't have that, like us.
Mhm.
Shaun, you're close to the ocean. Jen, you're close to the sort of inland ocean. The Great Lakes are right there.
I
Which,
am.
if you haven't seen the Great Lakes, it's like looking at the ocean because you can't see the land across it. They're giant.
That's true.
But there's a lot of people that just don't have the opportunity, and they never dream of it. They never think in their wildest days that they'd be able to, never mind go on a cruise, but just be able to have the opportunity to see the ocean. And it's wonderful. And Shaun, like you said, and Jen, you both said it, it changes lives. I mean, if you go back and you look at the videos of any of the recipients up to this point, the look on their face, I'm telling you, it says it all. Kenny and James and the many others that have done it. It's just amazing, and I know it makes me feel good to give back. And Jen, I'm like you. I haven't been on a group cruise, Helping Hands group cruise yet, so I can't wait for that day. But,
It's magic. Let me tell you, the atmosphere is incredible.
Yeah.
The When you start looking at people like Kenny, like Roxanne, like James and Cindy, and also like Scott and Amber, you look at their faces and the smile from start to finish, especially when they walk up to the ship. Oh my
when you
God.
when you see a grown man with a tear in his eye talking about the opportunity the Helping Hands had give to him, um, it changes my life when I see someone like
Yeah.
that.
Correct.
That touches that person, and it's
Correct.
something special for them. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, bit of news on the Australian side. An application right now has been put in to change the company name from Helping Hands for Cruising to Helping Hands for Cruising Australia. Once that gets approved, we will then put the application up to the ACNC, Australian Charities and Non-Profit Commission.
Mhm.
Once we get that up and we get the approval, then we'll be promoting the Great Barrier Reef cruise, and then there's another cruise that we're looking at going on, and we'll see whether or not we can include that cruise into the HH4C family. But we'll
Um,
have to see how that goes.
Exciting.
It's really exciting, particularly considering we're looking at getting 100,000 people on board cruise ships.
It's a tall order, but I know we can do it. So,
Absolutely, and that's the key factor. That's what we want to do: get them on board the cruise. 100,000 people on board cruise ships. OMG. Oscar Mike
I,
Golf.
I'd like to see us raise, so including the cruiseathon this spring and everything that we've raised up to this point, I'd like to see us exceed $10,000 this year before the end of the year. So,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I know we can do it. So,
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that we're going to be doing that's a little different for the Dreams in Motion Marathon is we're going to be providing some training ahead of time to help the people who are doing the presenting, to help our hosts learn the best possible ways for fundraising while on the air to maximize those dollars.
It's going to be awesome. We need to help people make it easy for us. Joe's heading off to bed, so good night, mate. Hope you have a great day tomorrow. We're going to be shutting down fairly soon anyway. We're coming up to the top of the hour.
Yep.
I want to thank you guys for coming on board.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having
you're
us.
welcome. Thanks
Jimmy,
for having us. Absolutely.
I know it's been a bit of a stress for you today because of what's happened with you in the last couple of weeks or so. And so I want to thank you for spending time with us. Folks,
You're
give
welcome.
give us a couple of minutes while we do our shutdown, and I shall bid you guys good night. In the meantime, folks, on Friday night, for those across the pond, for those on our side of the pond, the Down Under cruises will be on, and hopefully I shall have Her Majesty Queen Ilana Ornellas along with me.
Ooh.
She is royalty, and I do treat her as such. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I'm just the far king. Anyway, guys, thank you for popping in. All those who've joined us, it's been a great day, and we wish you all the best. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Come from the land down under, where the sun is hot and bright, beaches cool and waves of thunder. Morning turns to golden night. So much there is to see, my friend, from the city to the shore. Grab a stool, we'll find an end to keep us wanting more. Down under's calling, can't you hear? Echoes in the breeze, feel the magic everywhere, in the rustling of the trees. Mountains rise and rivers flow, adventures wait around. Meet the world on a winding road in every little town. Oh, the land, it seems to me, with a tune as wild as sea, heads up high.